Welcome to the Wood and Work podcast. I'm your host, Paul, from JCR Builds in the UK. Please, whatever platform you're listening on, whether it be Spotify, Amazon, Apple, go leave me a review. Once we get to 500 reviews on a worldwide giveaway, I'll make sure it's well worth prize having. Also, you can contact me on Instagram, Facebook, on JCR Builds or the Wood and Work podcast if you've got any questions for any of our guests that we've had in the past, or any questions that you want us to cover in the future, regardless. Right, housekeeping out the way. So today we have a guest on. We have Paul from Brookeswood Builds on. Hello, Paul.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. So, for those that do not know who you are, could you please just give us a bit of a quick introduction to who you are, please, mate?
Sure. So my name's Paul. It's going to get really confusing with two Pauls on it at one point, but I'm Paul. I'm from Brookeswood Builds. So predominantly I make wooden pointy sticks. So weapons, swords, axes, hammers, things like that. That's what I'm best known for. Been doing that for the last couple of years. That's the niche that I'm going to go into more than anything else on my YouTube channel anyway. But I've been doing this since 2019 now. So yeah, it's been fun and games. Doing the whole YouTube thing.
You are very much sort of like I use the word hobbyist woodworker. It's not your full-time profession, is it?
No, I work at a university full-time, so
it's what you do as a hobby. It doesn't take away from what you do, but I'll say you're quite well known, because obviously I will put links to Paul's Instagram and obviously YouTube channels, so you can go check it out, because you are quite well known. How I first came across you actually was some time ago. I'm scrolling through your Instagram on the other monitor there now, and it was your big ass axe, wasn't it? You did this amazing big axe.
Yeah, that was a scrapwood build off that one.
Was that one of Tim's? Because Tim's one of
it was
Tim from Turnworks. We've had Tim on, and that's where we launched his challenge this year. Was on this channel.
That was
his first and get the people to launch on my channel.
Well, of course.
I try to get that.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago now. I did that one. I didn't enter this one just because I'm stupidly busy. But that was double-headed giant battle axe that's pretty much bigger than me.
Oh, yeah. Right. I've just found a thumbnail. I think it's probably a thumbnail from a YouTube, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're quite a big lad, aren't you? You know what I mean? It's not as if you're like 5 foot.
I'm 6 foot, but I've got a fairly big stature to it. Yeah.
That's what I mean. You're quite a big lad, and pretty much the axe is from your middle of your shin to your head height.
Yep.
It's
a good 5 foot something. Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice big sort of like, what would you say, like Viking-ish type style?
Yeah, I had sort of styled it over. There's a video game character, not a video, a comic book character called Scorn, who's or Scourge. I should really know that.
Well, if you based a piece of work on it, yes, you should.
Yes, but it was inspired by his, because he's got this massive, and it can tear gaps in reality because he's based in the Thor universe. But yeah, sort of with the Viking Norse mythology, it was the background for that one. And yeah, it's on my wall at the moment. I love it. It's never going to go anywhere. If someone wants to offer me money for it, they ain't going to get it.
So is it oak and wool?
Yeah. So it was a pallet that my next door neighbour got me. He works for a lift company, so it gets massive, heavy parts delivered.
Probably big industrial type pallets.
Yeah. So obviously they've got to come on fairly decent packaging. So yeah, the pallet was all oak. I added a bit of walnut that I had scrap lying around as well for the edges. And yeah, it's a monster, absolute monster. It weighs a ton. It really does.
I say, because the other one you did not long, because you do a lot of mallets as well, which we'll get onto your mallets in a little bit, because that'll take you into a little section of something I wanted to obviously talk to you about. But I say you did a big ass sword as well, didn't you, a while ago?
Yeah, that was my last Makers 23 giveaway. So every year for the last few years, I've done Makers charity giveaway for Makers Central. Okay. It's not something they asked me to do. I made a giant hammer and sort of was like, oh, what do I do with it? Oh, I'll give it to you to raffle off. And then I sort of went, well, I might as well do that every year. So it gets my name out there, shows people what I can do. Yeah. And then I think it was about 6'2" was the final measurement of it. On a two-handed greatsword from the video game Skyrim.
That's it, because I'm just looking at it now, actually. I say, because I'm looking at it on the other screen, so because I say it's been that long since I've seen, and I've got a memory like a sieve. So it looks like you've got like a bit of sapali or mahogany type handle. Then you got into a walnut bit, and it's like a two-pronged oak.
Yeah, so its core is what was it? Purple Heart and Oak was the core. So I was really nice. I reached out to Brad from Surrey Timbers, and he was nice enough to donate me some oak for it. So I had some Purple Heart left over. He gave me some oak. He gave me some walnut, and I had some tiger wood. So it's oak and walnut is the main blade, which I've sort of cut out the little notch, so it's two-pronged. It's got a walnut guard with, I don't know what they're called, like flanges going up the side of the blade. It's got a walnut pommel and a tiger wood handle.
Tigerwood. So that's quite exotic. It's an exotic wood, isn't it, tigerwood?
Yeah, because there's lots of people that make like wooden swords and stuff, but I didn't want just a 2x4 cut up. I wanted to make it out of proper wood, so it will last for a while. And you know, it's something that, like a display piece, it's art more than anything else. Yeah, and 2x4s can look brilliant, but I wanted oak and I wanted walnut, and like Paduk is my favorite, and I would use that in every project if I could.
So I've only ever used Paduk once. I did a little games box not long ago. I'll say longer, probably about a year or so ago now. First time I'd ever used it. My God, I was highly allergic to it.
Oh really?
Yeah, I mean, I've been enjoying it for over 20 years. And I've not worked with a lot of exotic woods, don't get me wrong, because it's not the sort of thing when you're doing it sort of like for the retail or the public, like in people's houses, you don't use exotic woods. It's not something.
It gets expensive too.
Yeah, so it's not. I've never really made a lot of hobbyist or woodworking type stuff until maybe the last couple of years. We've started doing things just for a bit of fun type thing. But yeah, I used the Paduk and don't think anything of it. But like my throat was so sore the next day, and my hands were bright red. They were literally bright red. I was like, "What's going on here?" I couldn't work it out, and then I had to do a bit more with it a couple of days later, and the same happened. It's like, I'm allergic to Paduk.
That'll do it.
But of course, it's like a lot of exotic woods, though. They are actually highly toxic, or can be.
Yeah.
Or they have toxins in them, and obviously we all react to certain woods differently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually highly allergic to. I shouldn't say highly allergic. I'm allergic to it. I react to it very badly. But yeah,
that's not very good.
I thought it smells a lot like plasticine as well. I thought.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
You know, plasticine Play-Doh-y type kid stuff, doesn't it? But no, it's a beautiful wood though, isn't it? I really like it because it's that orangey sort of tinge. Yeah, it's a bit of a funny colour, isn't it?
Yeah, red and orange are sort of my favourite colours. Hence why my old logo was orange, you know. And yeah, it's just, I love the way that it just looks with a bit of finish on it, and it just pops so nicely. Like some of the stuff I was looking at Sorry Timber's Instagram page the other day, and some of the grain on the Paduk that they've got for sale, I just can't afford that much money. I can't spend that much money on wood.
No, it is one of those sort of things that a nice piece of wood is expensive, and that's where a lot of things have sort of come in, and that's where sort of things like a lot more the hobbyist side of things comes in, where people are literally using the scraps to build stuff.
Yeah.
And that's where Tim's Interior Works. Sorry, moving the arm. I shouldn't move that arm still. That's very much where Tim's Scrapwood Challenge comes in, because obviously the title, the name's in the title. Use your scraps up. And it does. Some of the stuff that comes on, people make, it's fabulous in his challenge.
Oh, I can't remember who won it. Oakfield Creations won it the year I did it, and the turned, he did like a little side table, and I couldn't believe it was scrap. I could not believe that was made out of scrap.
I know, and then I mean, it's one of those things that people would probably say from the person, if you didn't know him, he was cheated and it wasn't scrap, and he just said it was scrap. But 100% that was genuine. Yeah. Genuine, do you know what I mean? But yeah, it doesn't look like it should be a scrap piece, should it? Do you know what I mean?
No, not at all.
It just doesn't. But I say, because you use, and again, you're actually an ambassador for Rubio, aren't you? Rubio
I am, yes.
UK. So you obviously use Rubio on the pieces that, like your sword and stuff, and that does look really nice on the Paduk, doesn't it? And
oh yeah, the Paduk pops so well. I mean, I'm surprised I'm still an ambassador with them, really, because I only ever use pure. It's my favorite finish. I like the natural look of everything. So yeah, the pure on Paduk and Purple Heart just looks like superb. It really does. I know Sam from Monkey Boys Workshop, you recently used their walnut one on walnut, which apparently looked amazing. Yeah. So I'd be quite interested to try that one at some point. Yeah,
I've used walnut on walnut. It works quite well.
Yeah. So I love using the pure on most of my finishes. I do want to branch out and try other finishes, but it just looks so good. Just pops that grain perfectly, and it's quite subtle as well.
The thing is, though, with things like Paduk and Purple Heart, because of the very nature of the wood itself, none of the other finishes are probably suitable for things like Paduk, because it would very much sort of take away the beauty of the actual wood. Because last thing you want to do, I mean, if you say put a different colour oil on it, I mean, you may as well get a fucking bit of white gloss and put some white gloss on it. Do you know what I mean? It's just stupid. Because you do very much need that sort of, because it is obviously a linseed oil based product.
Yeah.
And obviously that just gives that natural oiled, but not wet look, oiled look. You know what I mean? It's just a very look, isn't it? The pure.
Yeah, it's subtle. It brings out the color of everything, but it's really subtle as well. I'm going to be using. I've got a sword case thing that I've got to make soon, and I'm going to be using oak for that, and I'm going to be using the black on it because I think that should make it look really good, because it's based off of an anime, so the sword itself should be on a black case. I'm hoping to bring out that grain and just tint it.
I wouldn't use black on oak. To me, it goes very dirty looking. The black.
Oh really?
Yeah, the charcoal goes well. I mean, if you want to go black, you can definitely go like the intense black route first as a pre-color, and then put because I've done that actually on a red oak piece. I did intense black as a base coat, and then did pure over the top.
Yeah,
and that was a lovely black color because I didn't want to go black. But if you're going to go black, you can do the black pre-color and then charcoal over the top, or charcoal on oak on its own is a very nice color. That works.
Oh really?
Nice. I wouldn't use the black. I mean, the black does have its uses on. I mean, I've used every color under the sun of Rubio a million times on everything.
Yeah.
But no, I don't personally like black on oak. I think it looks dirty.
Okay. So well, I mean, I've got to do some tests anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
Before I do it, so yeah, it'd be quite. I'll try the charcoal on top of the pre-color.
I think the charcoal's a bit. If you want jet black, like you want a solid black, just use the intense black pre-color and then either charcoal or pure over the top.
Yeah.
But the black on its own, the old 2C black's quite nice on oak.
Yeah. So I just like
the oak. It can change oak because obviously with oaks, it's just not a case of oak. You've got your reds, you've got your whites, you've got your Americans, and so oak's not oak, is it? To a point.
No.
You know what I mean?
Well, the oak that I'm using for this has come from they were chucking away a table at work, and it's full solid oak table. It's got to be 60, 70, 80 years old. So I've got no idea what type of oak it is, but they were just going to chuck it in the bin. So I'll take it. Thank you very much.
So all you need to do is get down to the wood again. And obviously you've got your lumberjack, haven't you, joint to play in the type of thing. So you've got the ability to. I think that's actually very similar to. I mean, I picked up an old SIP one. I thought it was a paperweight. I sort of very gingerly bypassed the electronics with a new NV. I have got an NVR switch on it, but I bypassed what was there to put the NVR on.
Yeah.
Because the relay had gone, and you can't get the relay for the one I've got anymore.
Right.
It ended up costing me 40 quid, and it's about because there's a lot of them are very similar, aren't they? Like is it like the Metabo 260, and then you've got the Record and the Lumberjack, the Metabo. There's several of them that are very, very similar, aren't they? Like they use the same.
Yeah, you can't get too different with the price point that the Lumberjack was at. Yeah, they're all very much the same.
Yeah, but I mean, they're great machines, aren't they?
Oh, I love it. I like now seeing as I can actually deal with rough sawn wood now and reclaimed wood and things. It's so much easier than trying to buy PAR stuff.
It's milling though. I can't be arsed with milling.
Can you not? See, I don't mind if I can set some time aside. It doesn't bother me because I'm in the
Yeah,
shop. So
I've got an entire stack of Sporty Beach there that needs milling, and it's been there for 2 years, still sat there, and yeah, I can't be out. I'm very tempted because I might end up putting it in the van and taking it down to me hardwood supplier. I'm just asking very nice. He's got a 4-sided planer. Just bang it through that. It'll be done in minutes. Bung him a few quid.
Yeah, one of my friends has got one of them in his shop, and I very often give him stuff. It's like, oh, just chuck that through, go on, please.
I mean, Connors is like, this is PV Hardwoods. It's a couple £100,000 their piece, their machine. It's a big industrial thing. But it's just the thing. It's brilliant, just the way you put in a piece of crap and just beautiful piece of whatever comes out of the brand. You like, because milling takes a long time, doesn't it? It does take a long, long time.
Yeah, it does.
I just can't be arsed with that. But yeah, so you're sort of also very well known for your mallets as well, aren't you? As a general, because you do quite a lot of. I mean, I'm just looking at one. Because obviously, you do sell stuff as well. Is it Etsy? You've got a page on Etsy, is it?
Yeah, I've got an Etsy page. I've got my own website, but I haven't really published that I've got a website because I haven't put much on it yet. Trying to figure out how to sell stuff is really hard.
It's complicated as hell.
Yeah, but I mean, Etsy is tough because of the fees that you have to pay.
I refuse to use it now.
Yeah, this is the problem. Because this isn't my full-time job. This is a hobby. It's a case of I'll stick it on there. If it sells something, it sells something. If it doesn't, I haven't really lost anything. But I do sell a comfortable amount of mallets on Etsy. The mini mallets normally fly out quite well when I do a batch of those. And I've got a couple of other things that I want to put on there, but haven't just got around to it yet.
You could possibly try. I've been using Number Day recently, so it's like a new site. Kate Kitchen actually put me onto it.
Yeah,
and it was about 30 quid for the year for selling fees. You list whatever you want, and then the fees. So say it's a 30 quid item. I think fees is something like £1.50, and that's basically just your card provider fees. For the Stripe account.
Yeah.
So the card transfers. That's it. That's all.
I'm going to look at a few other branches.
5 days later. I mean, when I did Etsy, my store got banned 3 times within about 2 months. And I kept going back to
really?
Why? And he goes, "Oh, sorry, we made a mistake." And then I sold something, and he goes, "Oh, we promoted that, so we're taking 40% for promoting your item on top of all your other fees."
Yeah.
And by the time I paid postage, hang on a minute, that's physically cost me money out of my pocket to sell that item.
Yeah. My last 2 mallets were going to Canada and America, and they were off-site ads, which I hadn't opted out for. And that cost me 30 quid each on top from what out of the pocket for that. And it's just but then it's a difficult one because I wouldn't have had that sale if it wasn't for that off-site ad. So it's a very difficult one of how to market it.
So the thing is with Etsy, it's quite good in the sense of everyone goes to Etsy because they know about it. The problem with the Number Day is nobody knows about it yet.
Yeah.
So it's very, very new in that. And there's a few other, it's like made for me or made by me, or there's a few other similar sort of sites starting up for, because obviously it's not just woodworkers, it's all the craft stalls, people, and all that sort of thing. It's becoming quite a popular sort of avenue for people to start making a living or whatever these days.
Well, they blew up since COVID, didn't they? Everyone just started doing stuff at home, and with all the AI and Canva and stuff, it's just going crazy.
Well, that's why a lot of the AI now, they've stopped the AI, haven't they, on a lot of things, because, and like print by demand's being stopped by a lot of stuff as well. Because the thing is, that's just trademark infringement the whole time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people are putting up pictures like, but that isn't a physical item you're selling. You're selling me some really nasty writing on a drawing. That's not what it is. I mean, saying that, I'm not. I thought I was wearing one of Sam's t-shirts today, but I'm not. His was printed by demand, but when Sam's came, it was obviously knowing Sam, it's different as well. Do you know what I mean? His came and it was a really, really good quality t-shirt.
Yeah, so I've got 2 that I use with that.
Oh yeah, because you've actually, but it's different because you also lit off your website.
No, I do. So I've got my initial merch was all done through Amazon, which actually the quality wasn't that bad at all. It really wasn't that bad. My new stuff is from, I think, Printful, and that links directly to my website though. So I sell it through my website, but it all gets handled by Printful, print on demand. And the Printful t-shirts are really nice. They're super soft, super comfy. And this is not me trying to sell anything. It's just like trying to find a good quality t-shirt is quite hard, especially the print on demand stuff. If you're like your Colin Furses that buy his in bulk, you can get a good quality t-shirt. But if you're buying one at a time, it's hit and miss sometimes.
Well, it's just what I mean. And the problem is with, I'm saying, because the thing is, at least when it's going through your website, though, the book stops for you because you're selling it. I mean, these are just people that are just literally saying, I'm going to put whatever word on a black piece of paper saying, this is on your t-shirt for 30 quid. They don't care. It's just complete and utter crap.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it does make it very hard for a lot of the legitimate people trying to make an honest thing. But I mean, I'm saying they're not all bad at all, because I'm saying the one I had off Sam was, I thought it was this one actually. The t-shirt, it's a shame I've ruined it because I've had it for a couple of years now, I think. You know, it's got like oil and all sorts on it, but it's a shame. Brilliant t-shirt. But so your mini mallets, because they're pretty cool then. But I sort of heard rumours about a certain thing that you're going to this year with this.
Yes. Yeah, it's not something that I've actually released or told. I mean, a few people know. Yes, probably. There's a few people know, but I haven't like officially released it on Instagram or anything. But that doesn't matter, because I'm going to do a video at some point for YouTube and stuff. But yeah, so I've managed to get myself not a small stall, a fairly decent stall at Maker Central, where I'll be selling the giant mallets, the normal mallets, which is a massive amount of work that I've got to do. So I've got lots of different types of handles for that one, your Padauk, your Purple Heart, Walnut, Oak, all those sort of things. I'm going to have as many weapons as I can make on display. So like the axe is going to be there. The clown mallet I made for the Rubio Halloween thing will be there. Hopefully I'll have a couple of swords and a couple of other things there as well. And then I'm doing a sort of like build your own mini mallet bit. So Lumberjack have been nice enough to lend me a sander and a router table, so they can sort of glue all their mallets up there, because O3A are helping me out with that.
Cool.
So they'll be able to glue all the little mallets together. I'll give them a quick sand and a quick router, and then they can glue their handle on, and then they've got their own mini mallet that they've sort of made to take away with them. And I haven't fully confirmed it with them yet, but I think Rubio might come there, so then they can take it to Rubio and try some of the finishes on it. So if they want to do a color or something, they can do that.
So that actually sounds like quite a good idea, to be honest.
Yeah, because I'm going to have, so I've got like, for me, the mini mallets are just an easy way that I can put some random scraps together to make something that looks fairly cool.
I think your idea of doing your little mini mallets is a sort of build your own type feature. I think that's a great idea. I really do. I think that'll do very. I think you're going to run out very quickly.
Yeah, I reckon, because it depends on how many handles I can make. Like the faces and things like that are easy. I can cut them in a couple of seconds, but there's a lot of shaping that goes into the handles, because I try and make them look fairly delicate. So as long as I can get a load of handles done, I should be fine. But I'm very much aware that there is not a lot of time before Makers this year.
Yeah. Now, I mean, the other thing I can sort of envisage the only problem with it is with the glue. Because obviously if someone gets the glue all over the actual item itself, then they need to sand that back again, though, for the Rubio to be able to take. Yeah. So it's not, that mini mallet isn't ruined, if you're not ruined, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going to be as careful as I can with helping them put the glue in. I've got my next door neighbour I've roped into coming with me, so he can sort of man the stall if I need to pop off and have a look at things and stuff. But so that's the other thing. I've got to teach him how to make them as well, which will be fun. But yeah,
Makers is it April? Is it around April time or something?
May.
Is it? So May.
17th, 18th of May.
So you have literally got what, 4 months?
Yeah.
From now. Yeah, good.
And I've got to make all the mallets as well that I want to sell, and then all of the YouTube videos and stuff, because obviously I'm doing a build for them as well for the charity. And this year I've told them I'm going to do 2 things, which is again stressful. Yes, I'm a glutton for
Stupid
punishment.
ideas.
But I'm not going to do a giant build for them this year. I'm going to do 2 normal size builds. So my plan is to do like a Viking-esque sort of sword with like a design that I'm going to cut out, and it's called skeletonizing a blade. So where you basically take the material away completely, and then I'm going to fill that with a colored resin, and then I'm going to make a make a bearded battle axe.
Okay.
So yeah, I've got a lot on my plate. A list the size of my arm, stuff to do.
Yeah, you're not leaving yourself a lot of time because obviously I've sort of like got a good idea how long these sort of things take myself. You know what I mean? And
yeah, I'm taking a lot of annual leave before makers.
I was going to say, yeah, I can see you sort of like having to pull a lot of sick, a lot of sick days off from work, like from.
Oh yeah, 100% working from home.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so no, I think that's a really cool idea. I mean, especially, obviously, again, anyone should check out the link to Paul's Instagram is going to be in the description down below. And you go check them out because, they are pretty. I made one mallet ever, which is the wooden. I can't quite see it. It's just out of shot there, actually.
Yeah.
It's the one that I made for this channel, actually, with Josh. And that was the first one I've ever made. And that was pretty hard, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because when you don't know what you do, anything's hard if you don't know what you're doing. But the fact of, the ones you do, they're not as if they're just sort of, you said they're quite easy. Yeah, they are, because obviously you're making up a square blank, and then you're sort of rattling. But the thing is, when you make them smaller, you're making it harder for yourself because you then have to you're rattling out like the groove and what have you and everything else, and you're making hard, especially trying to knock off that many so quick. Digits are going to be at risk, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm trying to make it. I've got a few jigs that I've got to make because, like, I've asked Lumberjack to send me the stuff before so I can have a play with them and make sure I know what I'm doing. And I'm going to make a couple of jigs to try and make it as safe as I can. Luckily enough, because they are so small, there's not a lot of material I've got to remove for them. So I actually think that should be.
I actually think that makes it harder, though.
It is, but you're only going in probably 5-6 mil. Yeah. So there's not a lot of router bit actually showing. I know you don't need a lot of router bit showing to make a mess of things, but because you're only using such a small router bit, you should be able to a little bit.
Quite easy be able to make some sort of, I don't know, some sort of sled almost.
Yeah.
With like a toggle clamp on the top to hold it down almost.
Say they're not going to be doing the router. That's just me and my neighbour doing it.
Oh yeah, no, you can't. Yeah. Even if it's someone that is a joiner or whatever, you can't let them do it because of liability reasons on the stand. You'd get absolutely
exactly. Yeah.
Thing. So again, you said you got your YouTube channel.
Yes. Yeah, that's going all right.
So what? Obviously, I do as well, and I know how much work is involved. I've got 6 videos sat here waiting to edit, and I've not done any of them.
Yeah,
I've not put anything out for 3 weeks at the minute, 3-4 weeks due to with all everything going on. But what made you got into YouTube and the fact of you sort of like you haven't got enough on with having a full-time job as well?
Yeah, I don't actually know why I started the YouTube channel. I think I saw, like, obviously April Wilkinson and Matt Cremona were the influence of me starting woodwork with the crib stuff and all the home DIY stuff. And I think it was just a case of I need something to do. I can't just sit and play video games all day, when I'm not working. So I need to do something. And sort of like, well, I'll give it a go. So I started doing, like, my first proper video was the footstool I made for my dad. And that was really nice. It was, a shocking video. Don't get me wrong. It was actually a shocking video, but it was a good start. And the editing is hard, but you get into a flow of it. I find it a lot easier if I try and do the editing for what I've just filmed there and then, rather than trying to do a monster edit at the end. I can't remember who I got that tip from, but yeah. So like I'll film a little bit in the workshop because obviously I don't get a lot of time in one go, and then I'll edit that. So that little chunk is done fully, and then I've just got to add the music and time it in with everything else later. So doing it that way has really helped with the flow of it. But yeah, I've got 3-4 videos sat waiting to edit still.
Yeah. So the way I do it is I sort of get what you're saying, because what I'll know, I haven't done because I still haven't got used to my right arm at the minute.
Yeah.
So I was sort of trying to get as much done as I could before I lost the use of my arm. So then I could be doing all this now because I can't be using the tools.
Yeah.
But generally the way I like to do it, I like to I'll film everything for. I'm doing a demonstration. I don't know, say on a jigsaw, for example. I'll film everything. I'll do a first edit. I'll leave it for a day. I go back, rewatch my first edit. Then I go, right, what other B-roll do I need to add into this that I've not got? Because I do loads of B-roll because I have my main camera, then I have other cameras. So I've got B-roll going at the same time, always. And then I go back and do another edit, and then I leave it a day. Then I go back and do another edit because that's how. But now I've sort of done two, and I did one for the Lamello, how to, because it's something I've been asked an awful lot on recently about the Lamello. And again, it's not. I know there's videos out there on the Lamello Zeta. Don't get me wrong, but the thing is, it's what my subscribers are asking me for. I need to do, so I'll have to do one. And I did it all, and I didn't watch it. I've still not watched it back actually. I want to try and edit that in the morning, to be honest. And then I was like, shit, I've not done the B-roll, and I can't use my arm. So I've not been able to put the video out because I physically. I'll have a look tomorrow because I might be able to do just enough with my left arm now to plug it to the B-roll. But yeah, it's just. But again, I mean, I really enjoy making all the videos and stuff. It's good fun, but it's hard work because you're having to learn editing.
What do you use to edit?
I'm using DaVinci now.
Yeah, same as me.
I've just swapped. So I used to do it all on my laptop, and the laptop is an old piece of crap. And
same as mine.
I could just get Lightworks to work. DaVinci wouldn't run on it.
Really?
It was like, yeah, fuck off. It just wasn't having it. Well, my laptop had 4 gig of RAM. It was nowhere near close to doing anything.
Yeah.
And so what I did, because that was not working anymore, even Lightworks was getting hard. I bought an editing PC. It was only a cheap gaming. It's a cheap gaming PC, but it's got like 16 RAM, and then it's got whatever this, that, and the other, and then I've just literally got the second monitor for doing this sort of stuff. But of course, I'm having to learn DaVinci now.
I mean, DaVinci has got a massive learning curve, but there are so many videos out there to help you learn it step by step. Like I think most of the time when I'm editing, I've pretty much got my iPad open with a video on to show me how to do something.
That's why I've got.
And then I'll need it again because I'll forget how to do it. Like I've done one green screen thing. I bought this green screen. It's like, I'll put that up and I'll get some cool green screen footage. I've used it once and I can't remember how to use a green screen again.
See, I did that. I got the green screen for doing Lightworks and I did it, and it was brilliant. I did it all, and I've actually got another video, which is one of the 3D printed type ones with all the big Warlords, Warhammer type that I'm doing. And I need to. That's another one I need to edit over the next couple of days. But that does require green screen in it because of the type of video. I've never used green screen in DaVinci, so that's something else that's on a long list of things I need to look into and learn again. But the thing I like about it, the thing I enjoy about all the video making and all that, is all this new learning and what have you.
And then you've got the sense of pride afterwards as well. Oh, I mean, actually, I've done that.
I mean, it is though as well, because I mean, when you look at, because I've been doing it for about a year, just over a year maybe now, just over. And if you look at, I mean, some of my early videos are still the best viewed, and I'll get like 80, 90 hits a day on one of my early videos. But the quality of that video is shocking. And then now you look at one of my decent videos, or one of my most recent ones. I'm not saying maybe decent, because the problem is sometimes I do rush it a bit. But the thing is, I've got full studio lighting. I've got wireless microphones. I've got the different cameras for B-roll. So the production's so much better straight off the bat.
See, that's my problem. I mean, I've got my main camera and I use my old phone now to try and get some second angles on it. But I don't have, I can't think about it. It's like, I'll do a job. I'll be like, oh yeah, I've done it great. Oh crap, I didn't get another angle of it. And I'm so annoyed with myself. So then you got to sort of like fake it sort of, so you've got that shot.
It is hard.
So B-roll is so hard to get, and I haven't got the setup for it at the minute. I mean, I did pick up wireless microphones the other day, so hopefully my mic quality is going to get a bit better soon. But...
Yeah, so because what I did, I mean, it's actually just there underneath the t-shirt there. And actually, Matthew Moustache, he sort of helped me with that. So so basically that is a fully articulated. It's a video on my channel of it, and it's like a fully articulated arm. So I have one of the cameras on that, and that will be pointing at the desk where I'm working. My main camera's here, so I don't actually have to think about doing anything because I've already got the shot.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, as you say, you having to go back and you're refilming it and refilming it. You're doing the same job 3-4 times, and it just takes so long, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, any YouTube video takes 10 times longer than it would do if you're doing it without. But
I just enjoy the filming process throughout this now.
Yeah.
It's just I don't
like some of the. No, go on.
I don't really see it so much as work either, because I enjoy doing it. I mean, sometimes it is one of those things. But got to go film and do a bit of filming, and it's I'd rather just sit down and watch TV or play with the dogs or that sort of thing. But it's quite an enjoyable experience. I quite like it.
Yeah, I love doing the editing. Like some of the last few videos that I've put out I've put so much effort into them, and like trying to edit the giant mallet the Rubio Halloween challenge, trying to get me into the shot when I'm also in the shot and how to edit it was really difficult, especially at the end when I clocked myself with it. Trying to get that to line up was so hard, but I'm so chuffed with how it turned out. I can't believe how good that looks. So
and it's quite a satisfaction watching you. Well, I don't watch them back after. So the thing is, by the time you finish editing it, you've seen that video 20 times, haven't you? 30 times.
Yeah.
So you don't actually watch it ever again, do you?
No, you don't.
It's like these. I never listen back to the podcast ever again. That's it. I've had the conversation. It's done now.
Yeah, I was never able to listen back to the podcast when we did it's horrible. I don't like hearing my own voice for one. So
yeah, that's one thing I did find very unusual at first, was the getting used to not talking to the camera, but talking to the camera. And I still struggle with it. Because I used to have like a little side monitor to my screen to make sure that I was all in shot and all that. I had to take it off because I was looking at that, not at the camera.
Yeah, I do that all the time. You record something and it's like, it's like, that was really good. I love that shot. And then, why am I looking?
You're looking at the wrong place, because I mean, like here as well, it's the same thing with this. Because obviously, like webcams here, I need to probably sort this out. I probably need to bring an arm down or something like that with another camera in or something like that. But because I keep looking up the other screen, so I know most of this is audible, but it looks like I'm looking off, like I'm cross-eyed or something, because I'm looking over here because I'm actually looking at the screen, because then it's giving me stuff that it's like, that's the information screen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's getting used to it. It's weird. I mean, I've had the second monitor now for, I don't know, maybe a month or something.
Yeah.
So it's all very new to me. I can't have it next to it because I've got all my 3D printers that side, and there's just no desk there, so it's got to go above. So it's a little bit weird trying to even get used to a second screen to start with.
I try when I do because all like my static shots are done with my Canon, but when I do the face-to-face stuff, I try and use my phone, and then I'll check it on my watch so I know that I'm in the right shot and I can just about see it. And then I'll try not to watch it again. So if you watch my videos, I'm talking to the camera, you can normally see it on my watch. You can see me on watch. It's quite funny. But that means that I don't have to have the screen facing me. I can just concentrate on where I'm looking.
Yeah.
But again, you forget. You do forget. And I get distracted because obviously I've got one door at the back of the garage and then the main garage door. Someone will walk past, I'll be mid-chat and I'll be like, I'll be completely distracted by someone with a dog walking past.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we'll call that a wrap today. Thank you for joining us, Paul. Well, again,
thank you very much for having me.
So, all right, so everyone, Paul's link will be in the description. Go and give him a follow on Insta. Go and give him a subscribe on his YouTube channel. Obviously, go and see him at Makers if you're going to Makers and get one of these little tiny Bosch on the head mallets. And again, please leave a review on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, wherever it is you listen to us. Again, thanks very much. Any last words, Paul?
Just thank you very much, and I hope to see everyone at Makers.
Okay, thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week.